See the little bars on the top on the side? It's 3 little bars. You just click that and the chat window will pop back out.
There you go. Alright. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next edition of our stupid-ass game that I love so much. But anyway, we're sans Ox right now for a little bit. He should be here later. But I will be taking the place of our glorious, fabulous heavy gunner here for a little bit in the meantime. So last time we were playing, there's a few things that happened. Let me scoot my camera over. It's all the way fucking over there. It's weird. I don't like this. Anyway, but yeah, so we were playing a lot of fact-finding, a lot of searching, a lot of figuring of things out. We left off on a very interesting cliffhanger. A individual that just looked out of place. Incredibly tall, lanky, kind of weird, what they thought tentacles coming out of his facial area. They don't know as characters what it is. They've never seen anything like that. But obviously, if you've ever played D&D before, you know it's a fucking illithid. They also know this to be true because it's a very prominent group of individuals in my world. So, we'll see how well they can get away with not metagaming. Let's see. Wow, fuck you, Tex. Just right what you wrote. I'll flirt with you, big boy. But anyway, it all culminated with them finding out some things from individuals, eventually making their way towards a place to refit their ship, things like that, and then going on an adventure towards a almost impossible to find ship with the Helix Protocol leadership on it. As they got in there, they found a bunch of basically space druids, and we'll put it that way. They're very green. They're into nature a lot. I'll blaze it. But yeah, and that's where we left off with them being walked into this corridor and basically grilled to see what happened. How come it took them so long to get back, and to make sure they're still worthy of being part of the team. Ash went in first. About an hour and a half later, she came out, but they were not allowed to talk to her before they went in. And then they got pressed, and by some odd turn of events, Ox was able to drop a line that he learned from his brother. And when he did that, it caused something to happen inside of that lanky, illithid individual, which they don't know is an illithid, but come on, it's D&D, everybody knows. Which then said they had the full backing, and the council left, and that's kind of where we left off, with the mysterious individual leaving the room and leaving them and Ash inside. So, you guys are on a ship. You never really did get the name of it. In a black steel room, red lit. There's a few white lights over this table, which seats 12, but now is completely empty. With a lot of you standing or sitting around it, as well as Ash standing behind you, and no one else in the room. What do you do?
Well, that was easy.
Who the fuck was that guy?
Ox just kind of sits down. Ash looks at you and says, as far as I know, his name is Telomere.
And I forget, so did our characters actually see the tentacles?
Yes, you did when he stood up and left. Say that last part again?
Would she have seen it as well?
Yes, she even made mention to it, like, what the fuck, did you see his face, kind of thing? So.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not a normal gene mod. I don't think tentacles come standard.
Did you see how tall he was? The dude was huge.
Yes, he was very tall.
Is he the leader?
You're not quite sure. She kind of looks at you and says, he's a member of the council, but it looked like they all looked to him for guidance. I didn't think there was a de facto leader. I thought they all made decisions. Oh, that's too tense.
Well,
I don't want that much. It's normal fear music. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, Leech, you know about a bit about medical science. Is it possible to gene mod that far? I didn't think it was.
It could. You could have that. It'd be weird. Vestigial tentacles on the face.
I would relay that, and
I mean,
I
you
don't
think
know.
it might be that?
Why the fuck would you have tentacles on your face, though?
Have you been on the internet?
You're not wrong. All right. Point made.
Wow. Wow.
I would look at her and be like, so what did they ask you? 'Cause
She
you were in here a long fucking time.
She kind of looks at you and then hangs her head. She's like, they wanted a full report. No bullshit from everything. They took nothing of what I typed and gave them as non-compromise. They were very, very inquisitive about the AIs, as was I. And I told them I thought the same thing. This was something that could be a game changer. She's like, to be honest, there's no AIs we know of that are this advanced. Ones that think they're feeling, that are communicating in a family unit, that seem to be A, subservient, and B, able to do shit on their own.
Well, I mean, you guys are like fucking secret super hackers, right? So if you guys can't do it, who the fuck would be able to?
Okay. She looks at you, she's like, as far as I know, there are one-off, two-off hackers that are super gifted. She's like, usually those kind of people get snatched up real quick, you know? They get taken to a place where there's people who can groom them to do things. Usually corporations. She's like, me? I got caught by HP. That's how I started. I was just really, really good at fucking with computers. She's like, I don't know. She's like, there could be. It's a possibility.
These one-off, two-off people. Do you know any any online names or anything that we might look at? Anyone we could investigate?
She thinks, she's like, I can't think of any more than like 4 people that would have the clout to do that.
Well, I know I was gonna have you look at people on the council to see if there's anyone from fucking Diadem. I don't know why I have so much trouble remembering that. From Diadem, might want to check them out too. That's an even shorter list. I mean, obviously, fucking hackers gonna be hard or top hackers gonna be hard to track down. But if you could at least maybe find a trail of their exploits, maybe it might lead us somewhere.
She kind of, you can see her eyes trail off like she's messing around with her seat a little bit, and you can see that she's like, yeah, I'll get started on that. I'll run some searches and see what I can find on that. Shouldn't be a problem.
Specifically check also to see how far the moniker Void goes back.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Void might be one of them.
We know he's one of them. He's the one who messed with our videos that we sent back and forth.
And those are sophisticatedly done. Those are
Yes.
something along the lines of a masterpiece. If it was an art, it would be a masterpiece.
That's what I mean. So if we're looking for top hackers, if we can find the right one, that's Void.
Yeah. She nods and says it's definitely an idea, definitely a lead, and I'll track as hard as I can. And she gives you those eyes that she usually gives you when she's being fairly sincere and kind of excited about something. Like a new possibility, a new lead, something along those lines.
I know you always love a new project, Sugar.
Slight blush, and then she says, so what's our course of action then? She's like, I had laid out some ideas. I know. She looks at you, Tex, and she kind of nods forward saying, I know you wanted to go see your family. She's like, they might have some information based off of what we need, and well, I haven't met Mom and Dad yet, so.
Yeah, I kind of haven't seen them either since my sister reached out to me. I'm sure they're kind of pissed this isn't going to be fun.
Oh. Interesting.
Don't
I'm
we have
kind
to
of
go
on-
blow up a space station? Or at least attack one. Isn't that coming up?
Dimitri's boys.
Yeah.
What was the time frame on that?
Couple weeks, probably.
Just remember it was coming up sooner.
Mm,
Sooner rather than later.
Now, is that one we have to show up at a particular time, or is that one we can do it whenever based on our agenda?
particular time. They need a distraction at a certain window. And you guys basically
Okay.
just need to go in there and distract them for 50 rounds. They need a 5-minute window.
Don't be in combat the whole time. 50 rounds is a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Although
It'd be
all we
straight
have to
by
do is film a
itself.
distraction, which that could be fun. I mean, fuck. I definitely think we should recruit Ox for that plan, because all I know is there's only one man that puts a grenade into kebab meat, and that's
See,
quite a distraction.
Ox kind
Say
of
we also-
stretches. He's like, I've been looking to do some of my artwork. I think I could get creative with this.
I say we also need to go and get more rail cannon ammunition before we do that.
Definitely. We need to
Ox
get-
looks at Leech. He's like, your girl good for that?
She gave us whereabouts of one shipment. I'm sure she could probably give us more.
Well, now that we got the fabricator, we can just make ammo as well.
We have to have the.
You still have to
program for
have,
that, don't we?
yeah. You'd have to program that into the fabricator. Wouldn't be hard if you had a loose one that you could use.
Ah.
Well, then we could just talk to what's her name again? I'm gonna write it down right now.
Marissa.
Marissa.
What's that girl's
so
name
funny.
again?
The one you recruited? Yeah. it's
Yeah.
Marissa.
I'm bad with names. It doesn't
Ship
matter if I
engineer.
take notes.
All right. You can hear kind of the door slide open in the back as that one grizzled dude with the awesome-looking SMG, kind of weird armor, looks at you and he says, "It's time to depart the chamber."
All right.
Wait, are we allowed to move? Can we move quickly, not slowly?
Locks and loads the bolt.
I just start laughing and I fucking get up and start walking towards the door.
You hear an audible grunt as he kind of heel turns and starts to lead you guys out.
This dumb Hick's gonna get us killed.
I know how to toe the line right. I haven't got a shot yet.
Yet.
Keyword. I placed it there intentionally.
Ox was the
I'm
closest
not-
to getting shot last time.
Yeah, he
And I was
picks
a close-
fights. I just tease people. There's a difference.
He's like, "I'm a provocateur. That is my job."
difference if I'm gonna pick a fight, I'm just gonna punch you in the face. There's no need for words.
Gosh.
With that, you guys are led through the same kind of guard corridor. You see those constructs again that look like Terminators, kind of part and give this individual space to kind of lead you guys out. As he does, he walks you by a few corridors you didn't go down before, and you can see these ones are marked. One of them says Communications Array Alpha, one says Communications Array Bravo, one says QER, and the other one says Engineering. You've never heard of QER before, but it's very similar to the Communications Array, just a lot more computers.
Hey, what's QER? I'm gonna look at the guy escorting us.
He looks, and he's like, "You don't look like the type that would understand science."
I got a rough idea. I fixed the ship.
Let's see. That's Ash. That's Ox. Ooh. Ooh. Ox goes, "Are you kidding me? I thought that was just a theory I read in a book." Ash is like looking in there and she's like, "No, that isn't. Wow." She's like, "I didn't know we had that technology." And he looks at her, the guy with the SMG and the mask, and he just says, "What do you think is in the boxes we give to all our operatives?" And she goes, "That explains a lot." She's like,
Quantum something.
You wanna share with the class?
she looks at
I
you.
think it's quantum entanglement.
Yep, quantum entanglement relay. She says, "There's a theory that says two particles can exist at the same spot at the same time, and if you do something to one, the other one, obviously, since it exists at the same place at the same time, will react the same way. Now, let's say you have one particle, and you find its other one, and you do something to that. No matter how far distance you go, you can get a message like that. She's like, there's an old thing called
Oh.
Morse code. You can encrypt something incredibly easy with a long dot or a short one or a long one. She's like, and you can encrypt things with that. She's like, it would require a lot of power and an incredible amount of sophisticated equipment to maintain 100% control over that particle. As she looks in the room, and he's like,
That makes so much sense now.
he looks at her and he's like, well, at least you're the smartest of our, what were they called again? Handlers. He's like,
Handlers.
yeah. Looks at her and just says, come this way.
Okay. This is that was out of character. Now I realize why Diadem wants the box.
Yep.
Okay. When I okay, I like.
Why do you think when you plug it into a computer, it fries it?
Oh no.
The other computer cannot handle the power output that is required to use it.
I was talking about the box with the rats in it.
Oh yeah, oh that too, yeah. That's yeah, they probably want that one. 2 rats, yeah. Anyway, regardless of that, you're led back. No, you're fine. It's a good little side. Regardless of that, you're headed up this time through a ship. You're passed through what looks to be another one of these clean quarters, because if you could recall, the other quarters were like tagged and had like skateboard stickers. I mean, it looked like a fucking frat house kind of thing. The entire ship seems to be filled with these hacker one-offs and two-offs that you're talking about, Tex, that have been recruited by HP at the very least. But this corridor is clean, kind of like the one you went up to the council chambers. And in it, you can see there is a large bay. And he walks you out to the bay and basically says, from here on out, it's up to you. He's like, you need to make a certain amount of jumps. This is like 6 or 7. And says to Ash, like, you need to do it in an epsilon pattern. You know, gives her some, like, coded bullshit. Like, you need to make this jump this direction this many times to basically give us time to clear the area in case you were followed. She nods and understand. Yeah, she nods in understanding and is basically just like, okay, we can make that happen. And he's like, it was good to see you, but now you must leave. And he fucking heel turns and starts just walking back the same direction. You are probably 2 decks away from your ship, and there's a definitely obvious path. It's like 2 deck, 2 alpha deck, 2 Charlie deck, 2 Delta deck, which is an elevator which leads down. You can directly go there, or you could explore here for as long as you'd like. It's up to you. Ash kind of looks to you guys for guidance as Ox is flittering with his fucking boa, not paying attention.
I'm going to think over my seed, and I'm going to be like, part of me really wants to explore. The other part of me doesn't want to get killed by Terminator droids. So
I'm thinking the exact same thing. It's like, I would look around, but
Until we
who are
have
we going to
clearance.
piss off? Well, they said full support. I figure that means we have full clearance, right?
Ah.
I don't know what that means. That's kind of why I
I'd
wanted
say
to ask
open
Ash.
to interpretation until told otherwise.
I'll say your open to
Forgiveness, not
interpretation might get you opened for interpretation.
I've learned if you say sorry when the guns come out, it works sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. And these people like us, so I think it would work.
Ash.
Let's not roll the dice now.
Yeah, Ash looks at you like, I don't know what to do.
We
I
need
didn't
to.
say break anything. I said look around. Jesus. I don't
Sure
always
does.
break stuff. I'm really good at it, though. I'm learning how to put it back together. That's the fucking tricky part.
That is the tricky part. With that, so you guys just heading back down to your ship then?
Yeah.
Okay. As you make your way towards your ship, you jump into the lift that leads down. You guys remember you were on the bottommost deck. You punch it, it slides through there pretty easily. You can pass through. You see that it's an open lift, or at least semi-open. It has some transparent glass so you can see into the other things. As you're going down, you can see there's a freighter. It goes down again. There's a bay. It has like 4 or 5 fighters in it that look pretty scrapped together. Just kind of like almost kit cars, but in starfighter mode. Then you go down. You get to yours. And you can just see Phoenix chilling out on the ramp into the base. But
Wasn't he with us for the meeting? I think he was.
was he? Well, then
Yeah, he was supposed
you
to be there.
see
Yeah.
him there now because he teleported and he's magic. So,
Yeah,
haha.
yeah.
Anyway, the DM forgot. So, no.
Use blink. It's fine.
Yeah, he used blink. You're gonna love it. It's easy. But anyway, you guys get back there, and eventually, sure as shit, the individuals who are staying back with the ship open the gates for you to let you back on.
I would ask him, since we're locked in, like we're dry docked, are we able to make repairs or no? We got told we gotta leave, but he didn't say when.
A couple of the guys are like, yo, you need repairs? Yeah, you can do repairs here. You got it, or you need a hand?
I could use some help. I'm just trying to fix and attach an umbilicus.
You see a guy kind of press a literal button on his throat, and he just calls out. He's like, "Hey, yo, gearheads, get over here. Got some work to do on a fucking friendly ship."
Sweet. Sounds like we're doing that real quick then, because it'll be way faster with a crew.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was asking. 'Cause we can't park our ship very often.
That means I need to do my crafting checks. I didn't think I needed to do these because I thought it would take a while. God damn it.
Make 2.
Make 2? Okay, well I had previous ones, that's why I didn't, but I'll make 2.
Oh, what were your previous? Give me what your last 2 were.
Well, I just haven't done the rolls yet.
No.
Let's see. I have 7 days worth, I think.
I said it would take how long?
A third of the cost of the umbilicus,
Yeah.
that sounds right? Yeah. So, whatever that is.
3,000.
Okay.
10K.
And each one of those checks is 8 hours, correct?
Yes.
There's enough individuals here that the entirety of it will be done in 10 hours. Oh, see you later, Greg.
Yeah, I misclicked.
I was like, oh, there it goes. Goodbye. Ripping
All right,
pepperonis.
then I will be spending the day working with them.
Okay. Not difficult. Oh man, you did something and it just fucked up all my shit.
Sorry.
Motherfucker. Hitting that reconnect button real quick. Let's let everybody load in. I got text back, but I lost Wolf. Oh, guy,
Am I
you know.
still there or no?
Yeah, you're good. Oh,
I don't see
there we go. We're all good. Yay, we did it.
On this main screen, is there any way you could either just put like a countdown to how many days till we're being hunted?
28. I have a countdown in my book. But on this
just with,
one,
like,
yeah, I
red
can.
letters,
I can do a little.
like-
I can do a little righty. I can do a little freestyle. Oh, there you go. Someone's got it. Bam, 28. All right. 10 hours go by. So coming out of the woodwork from this ship are about 15, 20 dudes. Some of them look massive. Just huge guys. You know, big old dudes. Not teeny tiny at all. Then there's some little itty bitty people. Just like teeny tiny that you don't think could be engineers. And then there's a guy who comes running, like driving into this place off one of the lifts in a truck. Not a truck, more like you know how they have those little vehicles that you pull baggages at an airport, like those little tugs.
Yeah.
It's one of those, but it's loaded
Golf
with
cart?
it's loaded with like little cages on the back, and a lot of them start to get to work. The guy with the little cages opens them all, and it's a fucking fleet of drones that just instantly just pop out, and he's just sitting here controlling multiple drones at once, as they have like different things like welders, auto wrenches, things like that, and he's doing the work of like 10 dudes by himself.
Being that I have everything I've learned so far is pretty much self-taught, I'm going to be trying to look for whoever seems the most masterful, and I'm going to try to basically work near them and try to learn from, like, watch them as much as I can during the day.
Okay, yeah, there's definitely some individuals there that are what you would call master engineers or master parts of their craft, electricians, welders, things along those lines, yeah.
And I'd ask for any contact info if they're willing to give me any.
They say, oh, I'd love to give you some, but they don't let us beam anything off the ship. She's like, you can hit me up at this, this website, but I don't get to check it that often.
Sure, I'll take that info down.
Sure. Write down that you have one $500 contact.
One $500 contact.
Or 500 credit contact. I think the words
Those
for...
are great.
Yep. The rules for those, I believe, are in Neurospasta. I could be wrong. It's either it's one of the
It is in
two.
Neuro, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you
It's
have
in Neuro for contacts.
one of each.
All right. Note is made.
Gear contacts. Yep. So just for that, a $500 contact or a 500 credit contact. You know a guy. Once per level, the contact will perform a single favor for you, and it makes a check with a +8 bonus and advantage. Or you can have him give you one piece of information that would normally require a day of research or minor bribes. Can include semi-secret information. He can help with up to 5 pieces of equipment or supply caches worth a total value of $300 or less. So he could be like, oh yeah, I stashed I have a fucking thermal lance over there. You know, you could borrow it. It's in this thing kind of there. Or direct help. Acts as a challenge rating 3 creature for 1 hour. Or you can use him once every 2, or if you ask him for direct help, you can use him once in every 2 levels. So for this level, you used him to install something incredibly fast. You have the Gearhead team, is basically what I'd call them. So.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing I'd ask is if they can recommend any self-teaching, sort of
Books?
looking for. Yeah, books or programs or.
Give me a persuasion check. See if
Sure.
they got something you can get from. They look at you and tell you there's a ton of good places to like pirate some good manuals for like schools and stuff, and you are fairly certain you could retrace the directions to get back there, and they give you something along those lines. You know, you're still gonna have to download it and stuff like that, but you're pretty sure you know how to get there.
Cool.
All right. But with that, 10 hours later, unless anybody's doing anything else during those 10 hours, there is a flurry of engineering going on outside the Zayok, where an umbilicus is being crafted currently.
I'm going to try to do my program again. My DC's 21.
Okay.
I'm going to actually ask Ash. Since you're a way better hacker than I am, do you have a template for a multi-suite attack?
She's like, I could make you one, but it'll take some time. She says, I have one, but it's designed for my seed.
Right. All right. That's okay. I'll give it a shot as I'm sitting there still working on my code.
Gotcha.
Oh, yes. All right. Okay.
I would ask one
Barely.
of you to ask Marissa if she can make railgun ammo.
Okay. Then that's what I'd be doing. I'd go and get one from the bay, or from the, and I'd go and take it to her and say, is there any way that you can kind of reverse engineer this into the fabricator?
Yes, I can make a check to see if I can do that. Allow me 1 second here.
Realistically, making railgun ammo should be rather simple. It's just high velocity metal, right?
You
Pretty
take some-
much. So shape has a little
Just a big
bit.
dart.
Yeah, shape has a little bit to do with it for the magnetic part that launches it. Past that, yeah, it's a huge hunk of metal that's launched really, really fast.
Just a dart.
The shape of it can also do things like penetrate armor better. Maybe has a part of it that defeats shields before it hits. Those kinds of things. Yours almost look like if you took just a cheese wedge and did a punch in the middle, so it's kind of concave, and it comes to a point. So and then they stack up, kind of easy, but they're also fucking heavy. So Wolf, how are you getting it around the
How
ship?
heavy is
I was
this?
wondering.
It is probably a
ten.
10-foot by 10-foot hunk
Oh.
of metal that's also 10 foot tall. So like it's a
Do we have
10-foot
that
cube.
loader?
You do,
Yeah,
and it will.
I was about to say.
Yeah, you can use the loader. It'll just take a little bit, but yeah, not a problem.
That's okay.
Okay.
Got 10 hours.
Yeah, 10 hours is plenty to get it around the ship. It's
Yeah.
a few tight corners here and there. Phoenix yells at you, "Don't take the loader down the halls." Oh my god. But yeah, you manage to take it down a few of the paths, and you're able to get it to where it needs to go. she then says, I will see if I can make this happen. I'm going to say to make that kind of ammunition, since it's for a tech level 5 gun, or tech level 4 gun,
Oh.
that's, I'd say 15 plus 4, 19. She has a plus 2. Fucking nailed it. After 24 hours, she thinks that it'll be inputted enough that she can probably do it. And I don't remember what the price on ammunition for that was for, so give me 1 second. Let me take a look.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you actually told us that.
No, there's really no way of you guys knowing. How much does railgun ammo cost? Fucking
So
what
it's
gun?
not-
Yeah. We were supposed to steal it.
I didn't say you were supposed to do anything, but weapons,
Oh yeah.
ammunition.
The way I'm thinking is, yes, that's a crate side mission, but is it priority right now? Considering we're on a timetable,
Interesting.
that's my only thing.
Ooh. I would also take one of the red jack bullets out and show it to Marissa.
Okay.
See if she could get that in the.
She looks at it, and she says she'll work on it as soon as she's done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Unusual ammunition ×4. So ×4, and then an additional ×2 for being a ship weapon. Let's see. That means that'd be 40, 80, 100. It's 100 per round, and that would be for normal. So multiply that. 1, 2. So tiny, small, medium, large. Large is 4x4, right? So an additional 3 times.
Yeah.
So 300. I'd say some proprietary shit with so 350 a round. Not too bad, but it's literally just a huge hunk of metal. So it's not incredibly difficult. It's difficult to get the shape, but once it's in there, it's not hard. So 350 per round for the rail cannon.
That's expensive.
It's a ship weapon.
Yeah.
It's also a 10-foot cube of fucking metal. That's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of metal.
There's
I
a
think-
reason we split a ship in half with it.
Yeah, it's not a light weapon.
By any means.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's better than the explosives. The fucking
that-
the torpedoes are a lot more.
I thought torpedoes weren't that expensive.
Unless there's a section on vehicle stuff, I don't remember. Is there armor gear? Oh, there's a section on vehicles. Yeah, let me take a look real quick. Maybe there is some stuff on vehicle weapons. Stunts or conditions. There's different things, aircraft, vehicle mods, auto loader, auto reloader, interlace armor plating, weapon turret, heavy weapon, weapon turret, super heavy weapon. So you would be in the super heavy weapon turret area for those, and those are 6,500 a piece just for the turret itself. Where does it say the? Okay, most vehicles only have one weapon mount. Vehicle greater than 100 mount. Yeah, it's free. Vehicle must have a listed hit point equal than 30. Blah blah blah. Most vehicles have only one weapon mount. Blah 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 blah. I don't see. Does it say? No, it doesn't say any prices for ammunition. So I'm just kind of freeballing it. So
That works.
I should shoot a message to Chris and be like, you need to add that in the next version.
We need weapon ammo.
Weapon ammo for vehicles, but anyway,
Well, I'm gonna
he
also
does
say-
actually. Yeah, one of the things he did put in there that he's adding to the next version of it is shipbuilding rules and stuff, I believe.
Yeah, I was about
So,
to say, I'm pretty sure you probably, because this
Yeah,
book
yeah.
didn't have much on ship combat, but it's fucking sci-fi, so obviously you need to
Yeah, for
add
real.
to that.
Alright.
That was on his to-do list.
So, side shit done. Price is good. 350 for a railgun round, simply because the light rail cannon just fires hunks of metal. Easy peasy. And you can fabricate those rounds, so it's not hard. It's just a little costly, but not bad. All right. So with that being said, 10 hours go by. The umbilicus is attached. You guys do stuff. Was anybody else doing anything that wasn't helping with the umbilicus?
Nope.
Before the end of the day, I do have some questions for the librarians, because it is a new day from the last time I asked, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Then I've got a couple questions.
Okay, go ahead.
First would be, what the fuck is there a magic creature that has tentacles on its face?
According to legend, multiple creatures had tentacles on their face. Elithids, krakens, giant octopi, giant squid, several nautilus-type creatures, and I think that's pretty much it. It would have given you a full, detailed list of creatures that have shit on their face that could be considered
I'd be
tentacles.
like, I'm sure at some point I'd hear some mythological being, and I'd be like, wait, that stuff's real?
Yes. That is a question, as 2 check marks are added to the card.
And then I'd ask,
You really are the quickie mark god? Thank you. Come again.
Do you guys have some form of compendium?
Yes.
God damn it. You're the fucking worst, John.
You're the one asking the questions, bro.
You're right. You didn't tell me I was dealing with a genie on this fucking card.
It's
God
not.
damn
It's a fucking librarian.
No, but they take everything super literally. Okay,
They really
I got
do,
it.
yeah.
Tomorrow I'll ask if I can get a copy. Tomorrow. Keyword.
Yeah. You don't want to push that third.
No, I'm
All
good.
right. Okay.
I did want to do some checks that night after I finished my program.
4.
I'm going to go back through my file, because you said we could do deeper dives with rolls. So, one of the checks I wanted to look was, has the current Street Essentia been Diadem's version, or my version?
Investigation check.
Okay.
And you can use intelligence or wisdom for the check, your pick.
Okay. So, add 3 to this.
28. Looking at the file, you can see there is a few examples of what's been being sold, and it is not a full comprehensive breakdown. But looking at it, you can tell there are certain differences. You don't have a chemical analysis of it, but you do look at it, and it's not the right color at all. You could probably make another check to determine if that is a different chemical compound color, or maybe they're adding color to it. You can't really tell, but it's not the color your Essentia is. Yours is what color?
Mine was like an inhaler.
Okay, so it's
just
an
aerosol.
inhaler, and when it comes out, aerosol. This has an inhaler. When it comes out, it's a slight blue tinge.
Actually, okay. So, what time would I have made the card things around, or my questions around?
Doesn't matter.
Well, it would basically just be, I would probably go ask someone, because I realized what the fuck I did, so I'd probably be like, hey, someone asked their card for this.
You could easily do that.
Okay, so I would, whoever's next door to me, I would knock on their door.
Let's say, did we ever figure that out? Did you guys pick rooms yet?
We never picked.
Y'all need to pick rooms.
Alright, let's take a look here.
I also need to add a bed in one of the rooms for Ash. I think I
She's
have...
sharing mine.
Yeah, but you guys would have a bigger bed.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So I think one of the commitment
want
should
this
be
one.
Phoenix.
Just put the first letter of your character's name over the room. That way we know whose it is.
Which deck is it again?
It's
It's
the
the
B deck.
Troopy.
Potion.
Yeah, the B deck. All those little square rooms that overlook the food place. But yeah. So you could do that. Whoever's is next to. Wolf put a W because Anders
Okay.
and
Okay.
Anthony. Yeah, no, that's fine. I just had I forgot too. You have A names,
Yeah,
so you're good.
You don't go by your first name.
Hey,
I guess I could go by L. I'll
You
go
could,
by L.
yeah. All right, so Tex is in that one. All right, so I'll add another bed. I'll add a bigger bed to that room. But yes, so Tex would be next to, or it looks like Wolf would be next to you, Tex.
I'd be like, you hear a rap at the door, probably fairly late at night.
But
Not sure how early you go to bed. Hey, you got your card thingy from the librarians?
the
I need you to ask it a question for me.
okay.
I'm so tired, you
ask
fuck.
it if we can get a copy of a monster compendium.
Okay. I would relay that to the card. Relay, hey library, can we have a book on monsters? Basically.
It informs you, yes, you can check out a book on the monsters. We have over 5,000 in the depository. Was there a specific monster you're looking for? Otherwise, you can do one at a time, and you can make your choice from the following selections, and it starts rattling off book titles for about 25 minutes.
Hold on.
Tell him the description of that tentacle face thingy.
Okay. It was I can't remember exactly what it was, how you described it. Tall, pale thing with tentacles on its face.
Oh, you just describe what you saw, basically.
Yeah.
So, give me let's do persuasion check for that.
Okay.
And you can use charisma to try to maybe sweet talk this guy, or you can use intelligence, or not intelligence, but wisdom rather. Excuse me.
Okay.
For how well you saw it.
Yeah.
Add 3 to that.
Okay. 18's fairly good. Yeah, you give a description that you think's pretty fucking decent. And it says, a book on olithids. We have 2. Do you have a preferred drop-off point to acquire your book? Or would you like the audiobook?
We could take. Wait.
Explain.
You want an audiobook of that? I figure, like. You guys don't have digital by now? Like, what the fuck?
Are you asking that question? Are you asking that question to the librarian?
No.
Tex? Okay.
I'm sure I heard because I'm just standing near him. And I'd just be like, what's this bullshit?
I would turn to Tex and be like, where would be a good place for the drop-off?
Where would be
Where are the drop-offs? That's the issue. And if you ask it, it's going to count as a question. So be careful.
How?
Well, so if you
Senior
asked,
station.
2 questions now. So if you asked that, then
No.
we could still.
I've only asked what? No, I did. Yeah, I did. Never mind.
Yes, 2. So that would be the 3rd, and that would still, and then you could answer the 2nd question. I don't think that would count as the 2nd one.
What are your drop-off locations?
It rattles off a list of drop-off locations. Several of them
Oh.
in Kethra, several of them in Novus, several of them on different stations. It even mentions a few stations that you know to be destroyed now, as well as just a few points on some other planets, which I did not build that fucking star chart for you. I will get on that this week sometime.
You have an excuse.
Yeah, I forgot
So-
to. I just straight
That
up
was just
forgot.
more-
Yeah. I can tell you which planet.
What would
But yeah.
Well,
What?
we're going to Kethra, so just tell it one of the points on there.
just thinking to my trying to figure, not asking the card or anything, but what would the closest one be to where we're going to, Tex?
I would basically say the location that's closest to my parents' place.
Okay.
Give me a
Sure.
survival check, Tex.
Sure, I think I do those. I was looking through stuff and I was like, you know what, sci-fi, no one's gonna take this, I'll take it. Yeah.
What'd you roll?
15.
That's pretty decent. Yeah, you're fairly certain the one that's closest to you would be around the Red River drop-off point.
Okay.
Cool.
Send the books to the Red River drop-off point.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
That wasn't a
There's your fourth.
question.
That
That wasn't a question.
it wasn't, but he's contacting the thing a fourth time. Wisdom saving throw. It asks you a question back.
Oh no.
You're able to kind of answer it if you'd like. And in fact, you're actually compelled to answer it. You feel you kind of are like, this is weird. It's asking a question. Aren't I not supposed to? But you start blabbing out of your mouth before you can stop. So just answer this question truthfully. It asks you the question, why do you guys have such short, small lives? What's the reason? Why haven't you evolved further to live forever? What does your character think is the answer to that question?
Oh. Don't help me, Greg.
Yeah, no one help him. I want to hear what he has to say. You also have 12 seconds before I ask you another question from it. So, 11, 10.
The fleeting time we have, it's not about the time you have, it's what that you have with the time. It's what you do with the time.
You tell the
It's not about
riddle.
It's not about the, it's not
You
about
give
the
him a
quantity, it's about the
proverb.
quality of life.
This
Yeah.
dark proverb that you give to him is like some sort of anthema to it. Is you can hear, but you the fuck, and it starts just blabbing off in tongues before you hear someone or something forcibly turn off the card. You have
Totally
survived.
What did
Remember
I
who?
do while he was doing that?
Actually, you didn't even see it as he just his eyes kind of rolled back in his head, and then he shook out of it for a second. He didn't say anything. That was all in your head, Wolf.
Oh.
I just look at you. You all right?
Oh no.
But continue.
Say that now. Okay, I would put my card away.
You're like, fuck this noise.
Yep.
All right.
Quite literally.
So, 10 hours have passed. Multiple questions have been asked of this thing. Anders, you're digging through this file, looking at things, looking at all these things, and you finally, after a few hours, you're like, okay, that's not mine. It's a different color. Either they're adding something to it color-wise, or it's a different formula.
All right.
So,
Can I do any more digging, or is it too late?
that would have taken about 8 hours to dig that
Okay.
far. But yeah, you finally are. It was like a theory, then you tested it, and then you looked it up. What things can make this? There's like 20. Then you're like, okay, so it's definitely not mine. But you're fairly certain there's something's fishy with it. And if you had to make a guess, well, it could very well be not yours. Could be diadems, but what does diadems look like? You don't know. You have the chemical formula. You could synthesize it and do some science on that if you'd like. See what color it sprays out of an aerosol. But that would also
Oh,
take time.
I need a secure lab location before that goes circulating. through the ship's environment.
We're all high as fuck! Yeah, not a
Phoenix
problem.
turns into a demon and kills us all. That's all it takes.
Okay. So, so with
I
that.
hear upside, minor downside.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's 51 way. It's not bad. So with that, 10 hours go by. Eventually, the umbilicus is done. They wave you out, and you are free to go on your way. Phoenix starts taking the ship out, unless you guys have any objections.
I'd make sure you knew that we have to take epsilon pattern or whatever the fuck they told us.
Right. Good job. Hey, you remembered it. So yeah, you guys can take that easily without even anything. It's just the easiest for you to do because you don't have to do it because Phoenix is now just kind of helping Ash plot the course and Corona's flying the ship. So you start jumping, making random jumps. One of them actually uses your hypercapacitor to extend its jump to make it a little bit different. And yeah, it's absolutely just you end up back on a shipping lane. Coming out maybe midway through the system, fairly close to Kethra, actually, not too far. But yeah, you're on a normal shipping lane.
Did I ever get a response back from my sister? I think you said I did, but I don't think we had time for it.
you would have got one back now that you're in a normal shipping lane and not in the entirely jammed area around that Weaver ship. Wolf, Marissa messages you and says, I think I broke it. She failed her check to tear it apart. She rolled like a fucking 8. So, DC 15, she's got a +2. Didn't get it enough to pull the custom round apart and make it. So, subtract 1 round. Yep. She could try again, or you could do something. I'd say she'd have an advantage on the second time around, seeing as she's seen the insides of it now. So, but it's your pick. But yeah, you guys are back in fairly close to Kethra. Probably about a 4-hour flight. Shouldn't be too hard. But
So once we got in that shipping lane, I'd just be looking at my fucking contacts, like, where the fuck? Why hasn't she answered yet?
you
What the-
see a single voice message.
Play it.
Okay. You get a kind of sense of oh shit as the tone comes out, but it's basically, how the fuck dare you take this long to tell us you're motherfucking alive? We all thought you were dead. You 2-time piece of garbage shit motherfucking blurp blurp bleep blorp and bloop son of a son woo wee. I swear to God, you come down here to Texas, or come down to Kethra, I'm gonna beat that ass 10 ways from Sunday, boy. You have no idea. Well, fucking the things I did for you and your stupid ass. Oh my God, it goes like that for about 3 to 4 minutes without her taking a breath. It sounds until
That's a
yeah,
death present.
until it's. But anyway, she's like, now's a really fucking shitty time for you to try to pop back up. We're having a lot of trouble down here at the ranch. If you think you can lend a hand, we'd gladly appreciate it. Otherwise, we got our hands full, so I don't really have much time to tell you anything else. She's like, you can ask questions, and if I can get around to them in between killing these motherfucking douchebags that keep trying to pull their ass into our farm, shit, maybe I'll give you something. But fuck you. And then it hangs up.
Love you too.
Yeah.
I would basically go out until wherever the main area everyone's hanging out, and I'd just be like, well, finally got something back from my sister.
It's about time.
Yeah, basically called me a motherfucker and said that they got a lot of problems right now and they can't really give me direct answers over this this way of communication. But sounds like they got some people that need killed, and could be a good chance to Diadem if they're attacking the farm. So I'm thinking we should fucking get ready to, or we should be ready to go when we get down there.
All right.
I'm not thinking Diadem. I think she would have been a little bit more, because it sounded panicked, but how exacerbated did it sound? Like,
it sounded like
oh,
you would know this. It sounds like in the summertime when the dire rats would come back out. You know, once you cut the fields, you know, and they had nowhere to hide and eat anymore, they'd start scurrying around. You guys would have to go out there and kill them all. And it wasn't so much that it was bad. It was just annoying, time-consuming, things like that. That's the kind of tone you're getting from her. So
okay,
maybe
so
not something she can't handle, but something that's a nuisance. That's making life hard, or making what she wants to do in life hard.
Well, so they got some. I retract the Diadem part, and I'll be like, well, they're under attack by some nuisances. So if we can clear that up, we might be able to get some shit done. Because I don't know about you guys, but I think the fact that they've met my dad knows a fucking member of the council. I think I definitely want to know about that.
All right. I'm pretty easy. I gotta shoot somebody today, I guess.
Yeah.
Or shoot something. We're shooting something. Is that like a wolf? Shooting things. So,
Yes.
alright. I'm gonna think for a second. I'm gonna be like, Corona, I remember there's a black spot for us to infill to Kethra without being detected by the radar. Can we please set coordinates to that location so we can drop entropy with hosted by UWC?
Absolutely. She sets a course. And she...
Oh, we also got.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we have different transponder codes. It might actually
Not
be
on
better.
the
just go
entropy.
Well,
The
we could
entropy
land
didn't
our.
get one.
Yeah, so we could land our. We could land the Zayok there, right?
The
Can't
Zayok
go in
will not.
atmosphere.
Yeah, the Zayok can't fly in atmosphere. It's too big. It does not
Oh.
have atmospheric thrusters. It would basically just go and blow up. So.
Good to know.
The entropy not entropy.
Entropy
Inbred
does.
2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't get it. We didn't get the Weaver code changed for entropy.
That was.
All
The
right.
contract was only for one ship.
Well, we'll get that done while we're here too, then. All right, so we'll do that plan then.
Strap up. Go do
Okay.
our shit.
So, 4 hours go by. The lot of you kind of strap up. Phoenix, Ox, a lot of you pretty much get good to go. The small crew you have assembled on the ship stay behind with, 5 and his lady and the engineer and all that starting to kind of find a home in the place, and they're starting to get around and just feel a bit more comfortable. They're kind of doing their day-to-day. Phoenix, you can see, talks to 5 and basically is like, alright, you make sure no one fucking comes on this ship, and if they do, you shoot them to shit. And he basically tells him, if you need to, use Femeral's ability to lock this motherfucking place down. He's like, alright, I can handle that. But go ahead, what were you saying?
I was gonna say when we actually get to Kethra, I'll use our operator stick to make a encrypted phone call to her.
Okay.
Remember, you have an encrypted program on your seed too.
I'm gonna guess that their black box encryption is gonna be a little bit better than the encryption you made.
Could be, if it can talk to everything, yeah. So.
No offense.
Well taken. My DC's 19. That's pretty solid.
They do
Hey,
sometimes
all
like
I know is
34.
you weren't recruited by them, so I mean.
Oh.
You know what? I had to keep your asses alive. That's enough
You're
work.
right. Great job at that.
Mhm.
I'm not questioning that ability.
All right. Okay.
Griffin
Any
just texted me saying that he's about 10 minutes away from home.
perfect time? Yeah, you can. Okay.
Before we get on the entropy, I would give Marissa another round and say, don't mess it up this time.
She's like, I'm sorry, the thing's all weird. She's like, I'll give it a good shot. I'll roll it in public this time. 12, 14
With
total.
advantage.
Oh yeah, that's right.
With
She does have advantage. So 16.
There it is.
You could see she pulls it apart, and she's like, okay, I think I can do it this time.
Okay.
50. They're 50 gold a round. 50 credits a round.
Okay.
Ouch.
Expensive,
Yeah.
but
Powerful as
It
heck.
shoots through a tank.
it's a magic weapon.
Yeah.
It's magic ammunition.
Oh, it's magic.
It's not magic, but it would penetrate things that are like,
Oh.
doesn't take, it's resistant to damage unless it's magical. It bypasses that. Yeah.
It has AP.
It's AP, so yeah, it's got that shit. So it's kind of an expensive round, but it's well worth it.
Yes. So I have 17 instead of.
Yeah, and you get the full readout on it. It's its own caliber. It's its own powder composition. It's its own jacket, metal, and stuff like that. The core is weird and odd, but yeah, it's designed to be.
For the red check.
Yeah, it's designed to be propelled from a shot and then propelled along the rails by that kind of shit. So it's an interesting round, an interesting build, and it's very much important that you only use those rounds. So you try putting a normal bullet that is that caliber, it'll probably fucking break the gun. But yeah, so good thing you had that made. But yes. She can make one every hour, probably, is the turnaround time on that. So, it'd take an hour to per 50 credits, it would take an hour of fabrication time.
Okay.
Just because of its intricacies. Other things will have different rates, but something with, there's like 5 or 6 parts and particulates and things like that. So, about an hour per. So, anyway, was there any special preparations before you guys head down to the surface of Kethra once more? You
I said I
will.
was gonna call her.
Okay, so you're gonna call her. All right, no problem. You can do that. Anybody else doing anything special before you roll down, or?
I'm just gonna be thorough, I guess. I'll double check my med gear just to make sure that I've got more of my like healing options. More so than I usually carry, like the shit I keep in the med bay.
Sounds good.
Like all the hit dice stuff.
Okay. You can load up how you see fit.
And I'm gonna just look at. I'm gonna send a message to text me like, what did she say she's fighting?
I'm calling her right now so I get some better specifics.
That'd be useful because I got anti-venoms, but I don't know if are we fighting snakes? I don't know. That's what I wanted to know.
Back where I'm from, we could be fighting anything.
You're not wrong. A lot of the things out that way are fucking absurd. Yes.
Is our farm in the Vale or out of the Vale?
This one out of the Vale.
Out of the Vale? Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, it could be anything from literal demons to giant rats to hoodlums. So you
Okay.
get all sorts out there.
So let's see. I think this is in the sci-fi docs. I need to open it up so I get it right.
I'm getting serious Princess Bride feels from the rats.
The rats of unusual sizes. Yeah. There we go. Let's see. That's that info. That info. And then that is over there. Okay, so you get a response. She picks up the line. She's like, "Well, look who the fuck it is."
Wait, before you yell at me, I'm nearby and I have help, so yelp me less.
How about I decide how much yelling I'm gonna do, and you decide how much help you're gonna be? She's like, "You're close," you said. Do you even know how to get here?
Yeah. You gave me the coordinates.
Well, I don't know if you can still read. You were pretty dumb back home.
Well, yeah, I was 8. Like, you fucking know rocket science? Jesus. You learn a lot up in space.
She
Fucking
says,
Lee taught me a lot too.
Hello.
she says to you, well, look, I don't think you've been around here. You've never been to that farm, right? You just only heard of it, right?
Yep.
Right. So she's like, this ain't like the old farm back home. This is a lot bigger, a lot nicer, a little out of the way, obviously, since we put this fucker up in the waste. And no one usually fucks with us. Except for now, we got some cultist shitheads, giant-ass fucking cyber bear-looking motherfuckers, and whatever the hell else they're doing to these fucking animals out here, poking at the fucking lines. She's like, so if you're coming down here, you're gonna have to pack a shit ton of ammunition. The valley is very, very inhospitable to motherfuckers flying anything in, so you're gonna have to hoof it. Unless you got quads or something, you could probably take one of them.
We need to get those.
She's like, quads or small vehicles.
See, I've been. Like, oh, Greg, quads are a terrible idea.
I put that in there specifically for that reason. You're like, I told y'all motherfuckers we needed motorcycles or quads or some shit. She's like, other than that, it's probably about a 6-day hike from the space that doesn't have magnetic interference with anything. So that's the coordinates I gave you. Is the spot I think's most likely for you to be able to land. She's like, I wouldn't leave it there though.
Good to know.
Whatever you bring in, you should probably take out.
I was about to say, any other precautions you recommend?
Body armor, trained medical professional, a lot of fire.
Check.
Most of these things hate fire.
Oh, yeah, and I'm gonna fucking oscillate my arm as I'm looking at her. I got skills now.
Well, if you need to masturbate off a giant fucking robot, I'm sure you'll do great.
Oh, you motherfucker.
What's that help with? Preventing chafing or something? I don't know how you boys piddle your shit.
All I know is I got a crew of crazy motherfuckers with me, so we'll be down there to take care of problems pretty quick. I'll see you soon.
She's like, I'll tell Ma in 6 days to prepare some extra food. How many mouths are you thinking?
Let's see.
4 probably.
Is Phoenix not?
Phoenix is like, after hearing this, is gonna be like, I will make sure the entropy don't get fucking taken. I.e.,
Cool.
haha, there you go.
Yep. Cool.
Bingo.
Then 4.
Yeah. She's like,
Oh, 5. Ash is coming with.
she's like, all right, then I'll plan for 4, because one of y'all probably die. See you when you get here, little brother.
Yeah. See you soon. I'm gonna reluctantly just kind of click.
You can see she tips her little hat at you, and the line goes black. She gives you coordinates again at the end of the transmission. She's like, remember, don't park it here.
Yep.
All right. Welcome,
go and-
welcome, Ox. I can actually put you on the stream now. How about this? Let me do that. Bam. Ox is no longer AFK. He's here, everybody! Ho!
I'd kind of walk out from the room I was making my call in, and I'd be like, well, so, Leech, you asked what the fuck we're fighting. Sounds like cultists with some gene-modded animals, or some way they've made these animals, like tech-modified, or gene-mod, or stuff like that.
All right, I'll bring my anti-venoms, and I walk off.
Good idea.
You're like, these might be useful.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right. So, Ox, before you guys head back down to Kethra, you had a moment back on the Weaver ship to do anything in 10 hours of downtime. Is there anything in particular you want to do?
On the Weaver ship,
Yep.
not really, unless the leader of
Helix Protocol?
there we go. Sorry, I just got off of work. So
No, you're fine.
if the leader of Helix Protocol wanted to chat for a second, but other than
Nope.
that, not really.
They pretty much, once they left that room, you didn't see anybody else except for a bunch of the hippie guys that were running the rest of the ship.
Oh, I take it back. For 10 hours, I'd like to see if I would want to see if there's anyone that does robotics.
There's a lot, and they're
Fucking-
almost
you'd
all of
probably-
them right now are fixing the umbilicus on your ship. So yeah, you could chat.
So outside, so I'm working on the ship right now with like fucking 10 dudes and a dude that's like sitting out controlling like 20 drones at once. So you might want to talk to him.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna pass contact info to everyone that does robotics.
Same thing I did.
You have a $500 contact.
It's on you. You get it in the book.
Neurospasta, page 91, I think. You have a $500 contact that is the exact same as Greg's, and you can use the exact same stuff. Basically, they can do a favor for you once every 2 levels. They can provide you with small little equipment caches. For them, it would be like tech-based stuff, like we hit a thermal lance here. Here's a code to a power shed that has a loader bot in it, or something like that. They might be able to hook you up with little bits like that. And they up to 300 every now and then. You also you can ask them for help on a problem, and they give you like a +8 with advantage check kind of thing. So they can hook you up. You can use them once a level, unless you use them to help you out. Which for this level, Tex used his use of them to help build that umbilicus in 10 hours, which would have been like a 3 or 4 day job. So.
Okay.
I was gonna ask. Oh, I did ask last session. What did the HP give us? I would have asked Ash that. Like, what did we get access to? Did they clear our
By
debt?
full support.
Yeah, what's full support?
Didn't clear your debt, and she doesn't know. She has no idea. She's like, I'll pass it up the chain and see what perks we got. She would come back to you today, now that you are gearing up the entropy to take down the planet. Which, Ox, is there anything you'd like to do before you guys make planetfall and head into Texas Family's Farms? You have a little bit of time.
I don't think so. Not that I could think of.
Okay. She would get back to you, Leech, and tosses you a file. And in the file, they added one line to everything that I do now, and it says Access Alpha. So like, I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming if something's restricted, I have access at the alpha level. She shrugs. She's like, I can try to test the waters and see something. Is there something you might want to suggest? She's like, I could ask her some technical shit or some hard info or something. I don't know.
We're still finding us jobs that'll pay off this debt a little quicker. We're kind of accruing it faster than we're paying it off.
She's like, I haven't looked at the job listings, and she goes back to work. And she'll let you know what pops up.
Thank you. Oh, recommended to bring lots of ammo. Things that explode. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, we're
And-
fighting zealots that use gene and tech modded animals.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Just to remind you from our group loot, we have a metric fuck ton of explosives. So, but they're there. As well as I kept you 1 flamethrower and 5 flamethrower fuel canisters, if you really want that.
Are you in my head right now? Like,
Can you get
And
out?
Also,
This is fucked up.
remember that we now have Marissa on the ship, so if you want anything reverse engineered, she could possibly do that and then make it on the ship, on the fabricator.
It just takes some time, and so far she's been tapped by a couple of you guys to do some things, yeah. But she
Perks of
could.
showing up on time.
Yeah. The curse of showing up on time. Wow. What a
I said
dick
perks.
move. Yeah, whatever. Same difference. So. I'm cursed to be this fucking good. I'm sorry. I can't help
What can I say?
it. Kind of a big deal.
well then, we're bringing all the explosives, right?
Well, we have a crate of 100 charges of C6 explosives, 2 boxes of frag grenades. That's 40 grenades. I figured carry a couple. Just don't go overboard.
This flamethrower.
Yes, it's undermounted. It's an
Okay.
undermounted M&K A7 undermounted flamethrower. We have 1. I kept 1
Uh-huh.
because I had a feeling when someone was like, if they looked at the loot list, would actually be like, wait, I can play with fire. So that's why I did that.
How long is it gonna take us to get down to Kefir?
Matter of
Like 10
minutes.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's just installing an undermount. It's not that
Yeah.
hard.
yeah. Then that's what I'll be doing, and I'll be taking 2 of the canisters. Let me give you a list of what I'm taking.
Okay.
Shopping list.
Make sure you add this to your sheet. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Add this to my sheet. I'm local. What is this? My first day?
Giving him the what for over here. Good lord.
I've seen your character sheet before. Yes, I'm gonna say that.
Yeah. And
And it's a fucking mess.
So okay,
last
so you
time I
want
saw
the
it,
here?
so I
I'll
hope
just
it's
do
improved.
this. So you don't actually have to type it all out. Here's the copy and the paste.
Alright. So while you guys are figuring that out, moving through, loading up what you're going to load or whatnot. Stats for it are under heavy weapons, advanced weapons. Flamethrower does a d6 fire in a 15-foot cone. Weight on a normal flamethrower is 20 pounds. It has 10 shots. The undermounted version has the same amount. It's the exact same shit. It's a 20-pound little fucking thing. You add a small cord that goes to the backside of the rifle or whatnot, whatever gun you have, and mounts the canister there. Holds 10 gouts of flame that you can spit out. Does a d6 to everything there, and has a chance to light them on fire. So, if you need the stats on that, it's page 91 in Ultramodern 5, 92 in Ultramodern 5. No, 88. I had it wrong. Yeah, so all those stats. Stats order there.
Does Ash wear armor?
Ash does not. She's actually
Okay,
not
I would-
proficient in armor.
I would give her my airman
Or
combat suit.
I think she has light. What does a free diver get?
Light. They get light.
where's my copy pasta?
I don't know.
Oh, you put it there. I thought you meant the whole list.
Oh, do you want the whole list? Here's the share file. I will link it again. There you go.
Yeah, put that in the
Is it
group
pinned?
chat.
You guys say this every time. It's pinned.
Oh.
There you go.
All right, this is gonna be gross. I can already tell. It's gonna be disgusting. But that's the flamethrower rules. It's just it's gross. There's a lot of things, but you can take a look at those as you want. Write the important things that you want. Otherwise, I don't care. It's up to you to use your weapon, not me. So, with that being said, a lot of you load into the entropy, and as you do, Phoenix is like, "All right, guys, you guys sure you can make this journey? I'll take care of the ship. He's like, I'll fly around this magnetic bullshit, and he's like looking at it, and he's like, but it's pretty big. He's like, there's a good chance that I can't extract you at all.
Just return to the Zayok. We'll call for you when we need you.
He nods and says, all right.
He also has the nonverbal communication stuff if he installed the program.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wrote it for everyone.
Well, nonverbal communication thing is great, but it'd have to be able to. It's still a program that transmits seed to seed, right?
Right.
So as long as if there's disruption in the area, it might not transmit. You'd have. It's
Good
kind
point.
of a crapshoot. So basically, like this is a weird magnetic storm around this place or magnetic field, and it might disrupt communications or something. You're not 100%. But with that, you guys make your descent, calling in to this spot. They allow access into Kethra without any UWC interference since it's over the place outside the Veil. And as you make your way in, you can see this time of year, it's nice winter time down there. It's kind of cold. Not the greatest of seasons. To be traversing 6 days across the wilderness might make it a little bit longer. There's a slight bit of snow in some of the areas, and you can see the path as you fly over it. You can kind of see the area. Looks like a military test range for bombs. There's fucking craters everywhere. But sure as shit, there is 3 valleys that you can see, green as fuck. Absolutely overabundance of vegetation. Small bits of habitation as well. As you get close past some of the fogged areas and break through the clouds, you can see there's some pretty decent sized settlements in a few spots here and there. 2, and then you can think you see what is your family's farm off in the distance, Tex, but it's too far into the storm for you to actually fly at it. But the landing spot would take you through these 3 valleys, and in between all 3 valleys there is a river. It has a slight amber tint to it. Go ahead.
As we're flying, I would Google and see if there's any nearby quad rental. Rental.
Give me computer use.
Sure. Computer use that one.
All right. So what would you type into the? What is your Google search?
Quad rental.
Okay. As you type that in, it brings up a million billion things, and you're like, okay, I should probably narrow down.
Well, I'd look for like the narrow or the.
You're gonna click the near me button.
Well, I don't know. I'd be using maps, and then I'd just be looking for whatever pops up closest.
Okay. So most of this area is fairly decent mapped as far as areas outside the Veil go. It's called Red River Valley, surprisingly. Not anything that is super creative. As you can see, the amber tint to this river that cuts through these 3 valleys is kind of telling. But outside, you're looking at the maps, and you kind of start zooming, and you see Northern UWC Bombardment Zone Alpha. To the east of it, it says Nuclear Testing Zone 1 decommissioned. To the south, it says Verosian Wastes. And to the west, there is a trail, an actual road, which goes through and drives up to about where your drop-off spot is. And it says Last River Point is the name of that spot. The road itself is the East 4, probably the East 4 highway at one point. But that leads into, if you kept going west, it leads...
Yeah, I was about to say, I'd trace it back.
Yeah, you trace it back. The nearest town, 180 miles away, in the opposite direction of the valleys that you're going to, and it's just called Faraja.
Let's see, 160 miles, and then, so how far would it be from that place to the farm? Is that the 160 miles? Or?
That would be 160 miles in the opposite direction of the farm. Looking down at the last point, whatnot, there's a small settlement there. Doesn't say anything. Doesn't look like there's any info on there. Just says Last Point Town.
Well, what's the what's the distance between last point and the farm?
Not very far. It's about 60 miles, but there's no roads. 60 miles through rocky river valley place. There might be some goat trails, but they're not marked on this map. Not
fuck it, we're scoping it.
Yeah, not many large trails like that are maps on normal internet stuff that you can see. There's tons of shit heading back towards that settlement outside the Vale, named Fararja. But other than that, that's it.
Quickly, knowing how big our container is that we have strapped to the ship, how many quads could we fit in here? Like 4 or 5 easy?
Like 8.
Like 8? Okay. Well, that was the price if we paid for it. That's why I was asking. But, okay.
I'd mention to you guys, I'd be like, you guys want to maybe try to see if we can rent some quads instead of fucking walking for 6 days?
Sounds good to me.
That's fine. I just don't know what's going to happen if someone doesn't get their quad back.
Well, I'd say they'd have a hard time tracking us in space, so I'm not too worried about it.
That's a good argument. I like that.
We have a lot scarier people trying to find us, and they're struggling. So that's my 2 cents on that.
So as you're burning
I like
in,
the big dick swinging approach.
you're burning in through atmosphere. Which direction are you headed? Towards the point or towards Fararja, the town?
I'd send them the location of the quad rental place.
Well, it's not so much. Here's the quad rental place. This is a town that has that option. But yeah, you head there, and all right. Phoenix says, all right, I'll drop you off there, and you guys good, or do you want me to stick around?
I'd say try to stick around if you could, because then we could just load up, burn the distance back, and then just drop us off.
Okay. If all you're doing is trying to purchase quads, not a problem. Pay the price. You land in this town, and it is completely unremarkable. It has everything you would expect a town to have of decent size. Probably houses about 5,000 people in it. They all look dirty, like they're out in the wastes. Imagine if you have ever played Fallout 4 or Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. It is a town cobbled together from broken parts of everything, shit they've brand new manufactured out of old shit or repurposed. There are dwellings and buildings that are literal ship components, like from larger ships that have crashed into the planet. You can see there is a massive power station that is absolutely 100% a ship's engineering bay. Still with a engine, now converted to a nuclear smokestack that lets out whatever fumes and nasty shit that probably unshielded or unshielded generator puts out. But there is plenty of stuff here. It's actually thriving fairly well. You can see kids playing in the streets. You can kind of walk around and see the people. They look at you guys just like, fucking out-of-towners. They just kind of give you scowls as you walk by. None of them seem friendly towards you. You look a little bit better compared to that, but you're walking around with a bunch of crazies. A huge guy with a machine gun that has an underslung flamethrower and a feather boa. A man now dressed in a fucking nice suit and who's carrying... Not yet? Oh, okay.
No.
So
I actually want to RP that.
You still... So feather boa man, absolutely crazy looking fucking super Gopnik sniper boy, and then a guy in like that's trying too hard to be a mercenary with you. So that has a medical backpack and a computer sticking out of one of his pockets. So you might not get the looks, but your group does. You can make your way in there. They don't fleece you or anything. They just charge normal prices. The quads are not the best quality, but they'll work. Take batteries. They come with one charged battery. Type H's, I'm assuming, unless it says something otherwise.
M.
M.
Size M.
So medium batteries. Okay. You can buy some extra if you'd like. Otherwise, you have one battery.
Yeah, I'll buy.
Let's see.
Wait.
Luckily, I do have 21 M batteries on me, but I'd still want more. That's what my power fists are powered by.
That's starting to get heavy. But you're pretty strong.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
That's a lot of batteries.
It's my ammo.
Still, that's a lot of batteries.
So the
I wouldn't be
quads
carrying
are
all this,
the quads are 500 each.
Yes.
Yeah.
To buy or to rent? I'm sorry, I was such a
To buy.
To buy.
How
They
much to rent?
they honestly don't seem willing to rent them. They're like, you get the thing that people don't rent things around here. They just buy it. There doesn't seem to be a lot of amenities. It seems to be like more, these are things you need and they get sold here. And people are very straightforward. Imagine a frontier town.
This is the town as you're driving over to California right before you get to like just the fucking.
It's Blythe. It's
Yeah,
Blythe.
Like,
Batteries
so
are
then,
10 each.
Do any of them look big enough for 2?
Two-person, sure.
I'd be buying a 2-person one for me and Ash.
If you want to get a two-person one, multiply the instead of 100 each, they'd be 250.
So add 150 to it. So it's 650 for your quad if you want a
Cool.
two-person quad.
I will purchase that one.
Okay.
So, Wolf, how about we split a quad and you can just sit on my lap as we go?
How about no?
It
Why,
would-
you want him to operate your stick?
I mean, it would come with 2 seats. He doesn't have to sit
Yeah.
in your lap.
That's what I'm like. I'm okay with us riding together, but I'm not sitting on your lap.
I'm just saying, I spend a lot of money on explosives and it gets hard to do much else.
Ox, I will pay for our thing, but
Oh.
I'm not sitting on your lap.
Fair enough.
Hey, each quad can fit 2 people. So
Mm.
it's
Oh.
a standard quad. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
the standard one can? Okay, sure.
okay.
That works then.
Okay.
Its capacity
Then
is
I
2.
would-
I thought
I
they were
would get-
single, but yeah.
1 quad and 2 extra batteries.
They're only 10 credits each for a battery, just so you know.
Not a problem. Like I said, this place will let you buy them, buy the batteries. They seem to have a plethora of batteries recharging on the wall. Not a problem. So unless you have any interactions with these people, you guys are assumed to have that. Are you just flying back to the point then?
Yep.
Yeah, just
All
load
right.
them back into the ship and fly them
All
out.
First of all, everyone give me a perception check.
Might do that.
Let's hope my perception is better than it has been.
I'm rolling really well tonight.
Hey, an 18's
And
fucking...
Leech.
Alright, so everybody but Ox, who's kind of fiddling over, trying to get... He's a big guy, trying to get a quad that'll... or a ATV that'll fit him and all that other shit. Trying to find one that's a good fit. Still kind of that. The lot of you can see, there's a lot of individuals walking around this place that have like gang-style uniforms on. But instead of being like uniforms, like we all wear leather jackets that have a red arm or something like that, it's fucking cobbled together metal armor made out of God knows what. Anything from a power armor helmet kind of thing to pieces of old sign, pieces of vehicle that have been ground down and made into this, and it's all just very macabre decorated. Actual skulls of animals, some people, bones and shit like that, hides of weird shit hanging off of it. Guns look cobbled together too. Somehow more vicious, but you're afraid they might fall apart if you shoot them too much kind of things. These look pretty fucking intimidating. The dudes inside them as well, they look to be larger than your average guy. Very thick. You can tell these ones are much better off than the people who live in the town. And in fact, as they walk through this place, you can see them actually parting ways, letting these guys kind of make their way through the town. Almost as if they owned the place. That kind of feel like, oh shit, it's these guys coming through, you move out of the way. But unless you interact with them, they really don't even pay attention to you, but it's just something that's so obvious that I wanted you to notice this. Just something very out of the ordinary to see some group like this, just so fucking weird looking. Clyde, even
And they're
you've
all
never
looking at
seen...
us.
They really don't pay attention to you. They look at you guys. Some of them kind of make note of you and just continue on. It doesn't look like any of them really look to deal with you. They're just like, whatever. They could care less from their demeanor. But eventually you get all your quads situated, batteries situated, head back to the entropy. Phoenix flies you over to the last point and drops you off. As soon as you get out that way and get close, you can see the kind of dirty, dusty scrapper town that was Faraja turns into an overgrown wilderness trail. quick, fast, and in a hurry. It starts out with grasses, then goes to shrubs and bushes, and then trees. And as you can actually get close, the point itself, you can see there's a small town in the distance, but Phoenix informs you, hey, I can't get any closer to this. My fucking instruments are going retarded. You're going to have to walk. Probably maybe 2 or 3 miles off in the distance. Not anything crazy. Even with the quads, it should be fairly easy. But as you guys depart, offload the ramp, Phoenix is like, I'll stay around as long as I can and make sure you guys are able to do whatever you're going to do until I can't see anymore, then I'll dip out. He's like, hopefully you guys stay alive. He's like, don't fucking die on me now. So
We're good at not doing that so far, so.
he's like, track record. Alright. So, with that, you guys set out. What's the driving order?
I'd take the front.
Okay. So I got
I'll be behind him.
I'll take the rear.
so I got Tex, and then Leech, and then Wolf, and then Ox. All right.
And I
Wolf,
know I'm
Ox,
gonna
and
regret
Ox.
mentioning.
Yeah, I just two to a thing.
Okay.
Who's in the
Maybe
front?
two.
Who's in the back? Who's in the front? Who's in the back? So yeah.
I know I'm gonna regret saying this, but Ash is also behind, like directly behind me.
Okay. So did you buy? Is there 3 quads or 2?
No, she's on. There would be 1, 2,
There's-
3.
Are you guys sharing a quad?
We're
I'm
sharing.
sharing it with her.
Okay, so
All right.
there's only 3 quads.
So 3 quads. There's Tex and
so it'd
Ash,
be- yep, then me.
and
'cause I'm on
then
my own.
Leech, open space, and then
Ox-
Ox
you-
driving, Wolf
Yes.
on the back. Okay.
Oh, but I was gonna ask who was driving. So
All right. So first of all of
Oh,
you
tight.
give me a vehicle check for ground vehicles. Well, all of you who are driving. So Leech,
Okay.
Ox, and Tex.
I don't have a vehicle check.
Leech, you do
Just
you do a
just
barrel
about
roll.
every
Take it
Just
off a
about every
sweet jump,
class
get
got
some air.
something. Let's take these
Jeez.
two
I
out.
miss driving.
What's the modifier?
Should be your dexterity for this one, or whiz, dex or whiz, you can pick. So.
You might be
Yeah,
proficient
I
too.
did always.
Double check. I felt like they just gave everybody vehicle proficiency.
It would be very common in this day and age.
Ox, you're proficient. And
That's all that matters, because if you two are proficient, he's proficient.
Yep.
Yep.
So
1 second.
All right. So you guys, there's no real road leading to this town. There's a few dirt trails. Leech, you're able to spot them easy. You guys can follow them fairly quickly. And as you do, you can see it kind of bends around a corner. God damn it! Fucking hurry up and fill my cup with water, you stupid fridge. You guys make it around, and there's a dip. It is a very large dip, and there doesn't seem to be an immediate way around it. Leech, somehow, you actually see a kick up of dirt off on the side as there's another person driving along. And you can see they know a trail around this huge dip that would cause you guys to pretty much careen off of about a 60-foot cliff, which would suck. I mean, you could probably make it. Might fuck up your quads. But you do see a puff of dirt kind of kick up off in the distance, and you're fairly certain you can make your way down that way if you'd like. So, what's the path?
Correct, everybody.
You fucking romping, or are you going down that path?
To the path.
All right. Quickly, you guys drive around there, make your way towards it. You can see now the trees are starting to pick up. You could see them off in the distance. Now you're starting to get into where they're starting to grow. They're popping up the bush and the rocks and all this other stuff. You can actually start to hear that river flowing off in the distance. It's pretty fast speed. And as you get into this kind of little foresty area and cut back around and down through where this path is, you can see trailing off in the distance another quad. Looks like it's hauling ass to the town.
what's the person? You said we saw this person. What do they look like? Just
Leech
obviously
Leech
just-
saw the person. You guys didn't. As you come around here, you can see off in the distance the smoke trail or the dirt trail that he's kicking up, but you can't see who's on the back because of the
Gotcha.
trail of dust. But yeah, you make your way down. It's steep, but not too steep. You guys pick up a lot of speed, and for that, I'd like another driving check, please. Ooh.
Jeepers.
total of 10. Ooh. You don't crash. Neither of you crash, but you kind of have to hit the brakes a few times, and it gets you kind of a little bit in a rut where, Anders, you're like, brr, brr, just like fucking going hard. You're like, this is fucking...
You're just having fun.
This is great. Yeah, you're hitting some air.
I'm that asshole that's totally like drifting intentionally.
Yeah,
You guys are just driving me nuts. Like, get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah, and it's kind of to the point where you either have to slow down and stop Leech, or you can just you can take lead if you want. But you're gonna have to wait for these guys to pick their way. They're like stopped up on a stump.
He's
They're like,
just
oh,
on this fucking car, just like
hurry up! Yeah.
Yep.
He's John Claude
I'm just
Van
sitting there,
Damming
just
between
like
people.
sitting on the side, like revving it, just letting it totally like just keep making a circle while I watch them. Like, come on, come on.
Eventually,
Worst type of person.
you guys make it down, and as you do, you no longer see that individual off in the distance. They must know these trails a little bit better. You make it down. A lot of noise doing so, but not bad. Start back on the trail. And as you do, the person in the lead, Tex, I would like you to give me a perception check.
Sure.
The rest of you can see his trail and his bike, but he's kicking up a lot of dust, and you can't really see too much farther past his.
Would survival also, can that one be used?
For this one, it'd just be perception, because it's what you see.
Okay.
Oh.
Oops.
Ash is also with me. Can she make a roll? Oh my god.
Not much better.
Literally
not
the
doing,
same roll.
not doing well. Not doing well. Yeah, no, neither of you really see what's coming up. So, as you guys cut back a little bit, start pushing further towards where that town is, kind of where you remember seeing that other person driving, you do notice, and far too late as you notice it, but there is what you can only tell as a huge spot where there's just super dense mud. Just absolutely this thick patch which you instantly hit, and you can see that there's tracks leading around the mud. And you're just like, fuck, I totally missed those.
Wait. I think I got a thing I could use here. Give me a second. I gotta read it.
Alright.
Have some kata he can use when he's driving.
Alright. I'm hoping I could use this. And I'm gonna be like, oh, this is just like that time when I did the Carillion maneuver to be able to get over that gap. And I'm gonna try to fucking like jump around it or skid it. Or avoid
Okay,
it in some
explain to me what the Carillion maneuver is.
Well, you've watched Rogue One, right?
Of course.
No.
Or not Rogue One, Solo.
Yeah, I've seen them both.
Okay, so that fucking scene where he does the fucking flip it sideways thing to do that, I'm basically going to hard turn by basically leaning hard enough, but still try to keep the tread going to where it's not actually gonna flip.
Like, gonna try to hydroplane on mud?
No, not on the mud before I get, like, as
Oh,
I
you're just gonna
do that,
okay,
fuck moment, I'm gonna try
okay,
to basically
alright.
use it to skid.
To stop yourself from doing this. Okay, I would like you to give me a D100 roll.
Okay. Oh, yes. If 94 is good. 'Cause it could be the other way.
Okay. As you attempt this maneuver, kind of like you did that one time on this thing, absolutely not a problem. You stop short, turn, and you just feel hands slide up and off your back as she goes flying. It just eats mud, just slides all across it. Leech, give
I
me.
yell out, "Hey guys, watch out!" Mud,
Yeah,
and then I
Leech,
laugh, I
as
just
you
burst out laughing.
as you hear Tex yelling, give me a vehicle check to see if you avoid smashing into him. Oh no, you don't. As you quick stop, boom, hit you, Tex. Give me a dexterity save.
Oh, I'm good at those.
Which I'm
Damn.
like that one.
No, not like that.
And so you're like, guys, look, boom, and you go flying off the quad into the mud. Leech, give me a dexterity save if you just crash into this guy's thing. You're able to stay on, but you kind of like turn and it like fucks up the tire. But you can see you bumped his thing enough to where Tex is like, "Whoa!" just in the mud. His tire kind of spinning in the mud, but no longer because he's not holding onto it anymore. Lastly, but not leastly, Ox, is you hear clunk clunk in front of you. Give me a driving check, but with advantage.
Oh.
Oh, good enough
wow.
the first time. Yeah,
Yeah.
you stop short and kind of turn as you and Wolf kind of look over, and you just see one slightly in the mud quad, two people in the mud, and Leech just like going, oh, god damn it, as he's trying to pull the front tire out from under the back tire of the other one.
I would
But at least you didn't go
So
driving
as
into the mud with the quad. So.
Exactly. As I'm gonna help Ash up, and I'm just gonna like start wiping mud off her face. I'll be like, "Oh, I'm finally as pretty as you," and then
She just looks absolutely like, I thought, no, not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Not gonna
and
start
then
a
I'm
fight.
gonna walk over to Leech with a big pile of mud in my hand, and I'm gonna look him in the eye, and I'm gonna be like, "You can take one punch, or you can take this in the face. Which one?"
I'll go with the mud. Mud works.
And I'm just gonna fucking like wedding cake smear that shit in his face.
And after I
Okay,
clear
we
out
don't
my
have time
eyes
for
and like
mud
spit a
baths.
little out, I'll be like, I look like a Catherine now.
Oh, the shot.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
about time you grow some balls. Jesus.
oh my god. I
I know
like
you guys
it.
don't grow them up on that side, but
Jesus Christ. Okay. So, the lot of you in this kind of muddy, gross situation. It'll take a few
Something like
minutes to kind of get your guys' bearings again, but it shouldn't be a problem. So, who's helping who get out of the mud is the question I
I'm
want to
helping
know.
Ash, and then I'm sure I'm dexterous enough to get us both out of the mud.
Okay.
Then
Yeah, you don't need to make any checks. It's not too difficult to make your way out of this. It's just time consuming, kind of just annoying.
Slock.
Yeah.
Slock, just
Yeah.
slosh. It's hard to lift your feet. Yep.
While they're
Okay.
doing that, I'm gonna back my quad out, and then I'm gonna hop over and like roll theirs back over and like get it out of the mud while they're slowly crawling out of the mud. I'm just gonna be like, just kind of shaking my head and just be like, "You live here. I learned how to quad on my planet. Come on, you should know how to quad better than me."
I couldn't fucking see it. I avoided it, didn't I? In fact, I was out of it. Your ass crashed and fucking threw me into it. So I did perfectly fine. Fuck you.
I'm gonna get close and I'm gonna be like, "But see, I saved you from the tongue lashing you would receive from Ash."
Well,
birds of
she
a
didn't
feather.
hold on, or she didn't hold on. That's her fault.
She's like, excuse me.
And then I just look at you. I tried. As I get back on my quad.
All right. You start to pull them out, get your bearings, all that good stuff. And as that's happening, it's not anything too crazy. Just a little bit of a laugh, a little bit of fun. And as you do, you all hear the sound of something behind you. As you've been taking this moment to pull yourselves out of this mud, something has noticed you. And as you do, please place yourselves around the vehicles,
Is that a bear?
as there are two humanoid-looking bears walking directly at you.
What kind of bears?
Humanoid.
Humanoid.
They are standing on what looks to be their back feet.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Do they have fezzes or
No, just
unicycles? Anything
nope,
to-
nothing along those lines.
okay there. Okay, Ox. That's
You need
nice.
to put your shit over here.
I tell Ash to get out of the way, basically.
She's like, "What the fuck are those?"
And I'm just gonna look at them. They're just. Are they running at us? Or are they just walking towards us?
They seem to simply be walking towards you. They look like they kind of have mud, patchy fur and stuff, but they're just kind of sneaking through these bushes. You can see them pushing apart these ferns and these trees and stuff like that, moving their way towards you. And as that happens, I'd like you all to roll initiative.
Oh, I was gonna try to talk to it.
That would be awesome. However, these ones don't appear to want to talk. I'm actually going
Ox is
to.
like,
I need to actually change
No rolls
my
begin.
initiative style finally. No more advantage on initiatives.
Nope.
That face.
I took that off my sheet a while back.
Mm-hmm.
He's still within contact range for a while, so that's why I didn't turn it off. I'm just gonna change this back to my original, and once I get it on the tracker. Alright, 12.8.
And character sheet. There we go. All right. So with that, you can see these motherfucking things look ready to rock and or roll.
Oh, those things look way scarier than normal bears.
Yeah. As you can see their faces, they are not normal bears. They have bits of metal
Token
armor.
lied.
Yeah, they have bits of armor. They have what look to be
Polar bear?
weapons on them, like a big hammer, maybe an axe. Yeah, that's a axe and a hammer on their back, and they look ready to eat. With that, Wolf, you can see them. They have a good amount of cover as they are on slightly higher ground. I'm going to draw a little line here just to let you know where the declination of land is. So here is about like a 5-foot drop. So you guys are in a 5-foot drop, right? There's a little,
Okay.
here's where the path is, kind of goes into this muddy area. There's another ridge along this line right here. That's another about 5 feet. And then there's this ridge right here, which is about 10 feet. And then a small ridge right there, which is also 10 feet. So you are looking up at these things walking towards you currently. This guy would be right there, technically. But you're able to act first. They have some cover from you. You can only see the tops of their heads and the bits of armor that's showing. But you're first. What do you do?
Okay, I would move back and try to prop my rifle on the four-wheelers or the quad as much as I could. Decently.
So using your bonus action to take aim or whatnot?
Get supported, yes.
You are now in the supported position.
So I have the same amount of view on both of them. Well, this one is behind more cover than the other one.
As far as you can tell, they both have about the same amount of cover.
Okay, just making sure. And I would try with my regular sniper for this one.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
No.
With advantage, since you're.
Yeah, you if you have advantage, you can take it. Otherwise, the shot misses.
That's what that prop position gives you.
Okay.
All right.
That's a lot better.
26. The round, although skipping off the stone, does manage to ricochet into him.
Ooh,
7 points of
okay.
damage.
Bit me.
All right. The round kind of deflects off a piece of his armor, but you can see he. You roll a natural 18 or 19 on attack roll to make the hit a critical hit. Okay. So roll damage for it again. D8 plus your dex. An additional 2 damage. All right.
Plus dex, what you said?
Yeah.
So it'd be a dex.
Oh, no. It's just an extra dice roll if you made it a crit.
Oh, okay.
Because I already added the
Yeah,
7.
so-
So total of 9 damage.
Okay.
Alright, the shot
Just making sure.
ricochets and it catches him in the top of the throat a little bit off his armor. He's like, just roars at you. As you can see a slight little spray of crimson from the shot. Anything else? I think that's everything for you, unless you're going to move.
Okay.
Alright, Anders, you're able to act next. What is it that you do?
I'm gonna turn and look. I'm guessing Ash is near Tex.
She's probably like behind the quad, just kind of.
Yeah, I need to make a thing for her, but
Okay. I guess I'll just like slap Ox on the shoulder and I'll be like, I'll pull rear and then I'll just shoot one shot at it.
okay. Make your attack roll.
And here we go.
Ooh.
Does a 20 hit.
With cover, that misses. But you can tell only because of the cover. The shot deflects off of the rock in front of it, and it just punches into the ground. You can see a huge chunk of like that wet earth kind of just pop up, but it doesn't actually make contact, only because of the cover. And that's it. Anything else?
So, if you didn't quite understand, I'm pulling rear security. So, if shit flanks us, I'm protecting Ash.
Okay.
And I'm just going to take a knee right there.
Where do you want Ash? Just ping the square?
I'd say like right here.
Okay. I'm just going to put a little circle there. That's Ash for now. Alright. With that, it is one of their turn. This one. You can see the one on the right start just fucking flying towards you. 1, 2, 3. He jumps, just leaping over this thing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As they are incredibly fast. This one, as he gets to this point, you can see he takes an axe off his back and a hammer from his other hand, and he throws both of them. One at Leech and one at Ox. Let's see. The first one is at Leech. There's an 18 hit.
By 1. Yep.
All right. He smacks into you as the axe just kind of slashes against the side of you for 11, cutting into your armor, but not too bad. The next one is the Warhammer coming at Ox, and that one just doesn't manage to have the same oomph. It's a little bit heavier, harder to throw. But you can see as he throws those, he just pulls out 2 hand axes. La! And goes absolutely ridiculous. Alright, and I'm going to mark that one as frenzied. Boop. Okay. Actually, it's kind of hard to see that red dot. We're going to go with like a yellow dot. Alright. Alright. Tex, you're able to move next. What?
They're berserkers.
They are berserkers.
I'm just gonna be like I'm gonna be running past and yelling and be like, "This is why I don't always use guns." As I fucking have it come down and I fucking punch this bear in the.
Give me a dexterity check, as you are
Alright.
tromping through the mud. All right, you're able to move normally, and you can make your attack roll.
Boom.
19. That manages to hit that one. Go ahead and roll damage.
16.
16. You can see it connects. As this thing is absolutely pissed off, it does not look like... You're like, that was a pretty solid sternal punch. I got him. He just like takes it and looks at you like... and just roars in your face.
Punch 2 misses.
Okay, you swing again, the connecting combo punch. He's able to just put both his axes down against your armored fist and throw it down away from him, as it does not connect. Anything else?
I'm a burn burn a hit dice so I don't lose my combo, and that'll be it.
Okay. The next one, the one up top, you can see him let out a roar. He frenzies as well since he was hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he moves up, kind of jumping down at you. This one just holding its axe and just coming in and swinging once at you, Tex. It has advantage on this attack. Does 19 hit?
I think that meets. Let me double check. Yep, meets.
Okay. You are struck for 10 points of slashing damage. As the thing scrapes across your back, you're able to get your armored fist up in the way to kind of deflect the blow a little bit, but it definitely scraped across there. And that is its turn, unless it's going to do... No, it can do the full. It moves in to bite you next. 17 misses, I'm assuming. Oh, he has advantage. Oh, no, that did roll with advantage. And then he swings with the Warhammer. No, he two-handed battle axe, so he can't swing the Warhammer. All right, so there is that. And that is his turn. Ox, it is your turn next. What is it that you do?
So I want to move from here First here, up the 5 foot to there.
Okay, you maneuver yourself that direction.
And
Fire
Campaign
bears!
thing now. Fire bears. Always are an encounter.
I wanted.
God,
to
that fight was such a shit show.
All right, let's go ahead and throw this
I'll
down.
take my shotgun out from the undersling,
Okay.
and but before I do, I'm gonna hit that big beautiful ruby red button. Just
Oh shit. Okay. What does that do?
you're about to see.
Okay. I like this. I like it. It's exciting for me. I don't know what it does yet.
I'm pretty sure I adjusted the dice. Did I? I know I did for one.
Did you?
Hold on, let me double check. Yeah, I did. Okay. And then I'm going to do a widespread.
Okay. What does that hit?
Oh.
Okay. 20 shots plus
You'd have
3.
advantage too.
Okay.
I meant to push that button. Damn it.
Okay, just roll again. We'll take the higher of the two. Oh, 24. 10 out of 10. We'll take the 12 and 8 roll, so just normal 12, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's against which one, or is it against both, or what's the deal?
It's the auto, so it's the 8 damage, so they have to do the
Okay.
DC.
All right, so they make their rolls. Let's see. Dex check. Do they get advantage on that, or no? I don't think they do. Nope, just attacks. Okay. First one. Thank God he doesn't have advantage. Would have made that. Second one also rolls like ass. Not very good. 8 damage, and it's from shotgun.
Yeah, but so you guys have heard my shotgun before, obviously, but the boom is much louder, and there's no muzzle flash attached, but it sure does look like there's a muzzle flash attached.
So as you shoot, they're peppered with the buckshot from it, just absolutely peppered by it. You can see some of the shot definitely lands and does a good amount of damage, hitting into their thick hides, blowing off a few little pieces of metal. But you can see some shots, some of the buckshot deflects off the metal, and you can swear to God you see one of the buckshot hit it in the face on the muzzle, and it just roll out without even penetrating. Looks like this thing is very thick hide. Anything else? All right. Start of the second round. Wolf. Actually, passive perception on Anders is 18. Who has a 15 or better passive perception?
I do.
Okay, so now you can see this as well.
I didn't know.
Anybody else have bigger than 15 or no?
Nope.
Okay. You can see there is another bear folk man who comes up over the ridge, and another one as well appears as I roll initiative for them. And reset the descending order. You can see them, and they just kind of go. They scream from the top of the ridge line, and you can hear a thunk, like a mortar going off. But it is your turn. What do you do?
I'd go for the ones that were close to my friends. Go for him.
Okay.
If not, I'll be full.
That's a close ass
You
shot.
got me to roll with advantage there. So,
You have it.
You have it.
oh yeah. So,
Mhm. You would have advantage.
You're still supported too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you fire the shot into it. It hits for a small amount of damage, but you can see, and this is your regular sniper rifle, correct?
Yes.
Are you sure you're doing the damage right? It's just the D8 plus Dex, right? That's it.
Mhm.
Damn. All right. Yeah. The round connects, and as it does, it rips a good chunk of the metal off of its armor, but it doesn't even seem to be phased by the shot. It's just like, just looking at. This one is turned around and looked at Ox now that it's been buckshotted, but other than that, it doesn't really seem to be slowing down at all. Anything else?
No.
All right, Leech, you're up next. What do you do?
I'm going to just call out, just openly, and just going to be like, contact rear 7 o'clock as I move around to protect Ash, as I just stand in front of her, and then I'm just going to just pepper them with auto fire.
Okay. Make an attack. All right.
I don't think it takes
These-
all hit.
Well, it's auto fire, right? Oh, it's not. It's not burst fire. It's auto fire.
It's not burst fire.
All right, 13. Yeah, the rounds impact along the ridgeline and definitely look like it sends them looking for cover a little bit, but they don't really get hit by that shot. And as you do, make a pistol attack. I know you have a pistol. As you can feel Ash grab it off of your belt.
Okay. Damn.
As this one
Better
gets
shot than you.
clapped for 8 damage, as it didn't get to berserk yet, so that's good. You can see as you're like just laying some rounds into the thing. You can feel her go, "Fucking die!" Boom! She fires the pistol, and just you can see as it looks like, holy shit! And she's like, "Fucking god damn it!" And just kind of
Bears. Maybe she could hack him.
yeah. All right. The next thing you see is streaking over these two. There is a smoke trail. Just a little bit of what looks to be the trail end of a mortar landing next to you, and it does. It lands right in between all of you. Pretty good. Right about here. But it doesn't explode. You kind of see it land next to you, Tex, as you like look back.